life is pain. There's not really any way to get around it. If you are living, you are going to feel pain. Physically, emotionally, spiritually. I mean, it's part of the human condition. It's part of just the condition of living in general. You can't be happy all the time. You can't feel great all the time. You know, even if it's just little things, like you're still going to have adversity no matter what you do in life. There's always going to be a painful moment. And the big thing is we all are always going to have a painful moment. Life, like I said, life is pain. It's not... The big thing is these moments where we are filled with so much pain, that's really what defines us as people, is how we handle these moments. Because some people get hurt and some people become self-absorbed. They only think about themselves after they get hurt. Some people, they get hurt, they become, narcissistic, they become sociopathic, and they stop caring about others as much. Or they close themselves off. They become afraid of trying something new, afraid of being something different, because they're afraid of failure. They're afraid of reaching out to people again. They're afraid of having a connection and having it broken, because they don't want to feel that pain again. We become so wrapped up in pain sometimes that we are afraid to feel again. And it's a huge thing, because once you close yourself off, it's hard to open yourself back up again. And it's hard to, if you stop forgiving people, and you start resenting everyone, it's hard to get back to the place where you can forgive. And some people, they become so twisted up within themselves that it makes it hard for them to accept help from people that are trying to help them. And anyone, when they're not feeling pain, can go through life great. I mean, if everything is all sunshines and rainbows, it's easy to get through. And it's not really like, I guess there's still moments of happiness that define you of what you do. But when you're faced with adversity, when something is difficult, that determines so much of who you are as a person. Because those are the moments that are truly hard. That's where you find your true grit within yourself, the true gumption that keeps you moving. And I can't say that I'm proud of all the decisions I've made, because I'm definitely not. But I do know that I'm trying to learn from the wrong things I've done, and I'm trying to do more right than I do wrong. And a lot of times, I've done wrong things on accident. They say the path to hell is paved with good intentions. And that's completely true, because you try so hard and to do something right. Sometimes you're just like, oh, well, I'll just do this. Like, it doesn't feel right, but I know it'll get me to the end of where I need to be. It'll help this person, this person, this person. And a lot of times, you'll do the wrong thing trying to do the right thing. And when you should just try harder in different ways. A lot of times, if you feel like it's wrong, it normally is wrong. I mean, that's normally the way it is. I mean, and when something bad happens, or when adversity comes, are you going to be the person that stands up and continues going? Are you going to, carry certain burdens? Are you going to run? I mean, sometimes you have to know when to let go, but other times you have to know when to keep fighting. Adversity is something we face every single day. And a lot of times, you're not going to win. You're not going to win every battle. Never. But you could try. You could try to win every battle you face. You could try to be the better person every time you face it. And that's the big thing, is because you're not going to get it right every time. No one ever will. But if you're making the conscious effort to keep trying to be better at all those things, then you've already won the war within yourself. Because you're trying. And if you decide you're not going to give up and you're going to keep going, you've won. Because that means you're just going to keep getting better and better and better. But once you've lit narcissism, greed, like all this self-hatred, once you let all those things in and you start holding resentment towards people, you start hating everyone, that's when you start to go down the bad road. That's when you start to, depression is a lot easier to take hold at that point. Anger is a lot easier to take hold. You start doing things just despite other people, and it's just not a good way to live. It's not healthy. It's it's bad to yourself. It's bad for the people around you. Like it's toxic, and it impacts you and everyone around you when you become like that. And then you start to eventually collect people that are like that around you. Because what they say is completely true, is the vibrations you set out into the world, that is what attracts similar people. When you're sending out certain vibrations, you're bringing those people that are similar to you towards you. And once you're surrounded, you have the option to always change yourself. You always have the option to change yourself and who you are on the inside. And sometimes, that means letting go of these certain people that are toxic. And it's really hard because, when you're growing out of that phase of all this self-hatred, self-loathing, not loving other people, and you start growing out of that, you start to love these people that are toxic. And you want to help them. And some people you can help, but you can't help everyone. And it's a sad reality. It's a sad truth. I mean, you could always try. You try to help as many people as you can, but you gotta know when to make sure you're not destroying yourself in the process. Because sometimes you'll try to help people, and they'll say, once you start trying to help them, they won't think it's enough, and they will purposely destroy you because they have all that self-hatred and resentment still in themselves. Because they are not facing the pain of life in a proper way because they don't know how to. It's not that it's not that people don't want to face everything in the best way possible, but a lot of people don't know how to deal with their feelings because we're not taught correctly when we do it. Because a lot of people just don't, they're not taught. Not taught how to handle certain emotions, certain feelings, and then they just keep on going. They handle it, through drugs and, like I said, self-hatred, and they get demotivated by everything, and then they become toxic. But that's about all I'm going to go over today. All right, y'all have a good day.